What's up YouTube, this is DWS Darius and welcome to another day in the fish room. Once again we're going to go around and take a look at some of the major things that happened in the past week. Okay everyone, so we're going to start off looking at this 125-gallon aquarium. Right now this tank doesn't really have a clear theme. I want it to be my grow-out tank, but I have to figure out what to do with this big old aggressive Cichlid cichlid. Just now she was fighting her reflection. But yeah, this I want to be a grow-out tank, but right now it's just the Cichlid tilapia who's keeping everybody else in this tank hiding. Down there I have a female red devil. In here I have a male Jack Dempsey. Then I have my 4 silver dollars. And, you know, this tank is terrorized by this guy. And eventually I want to bring these fish up here so this could be an actual grow-out tank. But the reason why we're looking at this tank is so I can show you guys this background. Now look at it and tell me what you think about it. This is my attempt at making a 3D background from algae. So the idea of coming up with a 3D algae background came from my 29-gallon Hillstream aquarium. In this tank lives my Hillstream loaches and my neon blue gobies, which are primarily algae eaters. So in that tank I grow a lot of algae. I try to grow as much as possible so that my fish can have a wide range of algae to munch on. And that's what really gave me the idea of going with this algae on the background. In that tank I have algae growing on my 3D background from Universal Rocks. I thought it looked really cool, made the tank look very natural, and also, you know, algae benefits the aquarium by converting CO2 into oxygen for our fish. So, you know, it's a win-win situation. So the biggest difference between this tank and that 29-gallon tank is the background. Down there I have a 3D background from Universal Rocks, and I believe that background, being that it's not so much pressed against the glass, being that it's 3D, you can actually get a better growth of algae compared to this glass, which is flat. And also the texture itself, I think that glass is just a little bit harder to grow algae on compared to that material of the 3D background, which is like rubber. So that's the biggest difference. That's the reason why I believe I'm not getting hair algae, but I'm getting this brown and purple algae, which I think looks really cool and really natural. So the first thing that I did to get this algae was I went and I bought me a high output aquarium light. So I went with the Night Crew LED because that's what I'm using in that tank, and I'm getting tons of success. And of course I'm getting the same thing in this tank. This is only like 3 weeks of growth, and I'm definitely getting a lot of algae on this aquarium. One of the things I love most is that it's like not one plain color, and it's also not one plain texture. If it was like one plain brown color, it really wouldn't be any different from just a regular painted background. But I love the fact that I have different shades of brown, and also if you look closely I have different textures, some of it thick and some of it narrow. So that's what makes it unique and just more of a 3D effect. Now one thing I'm noticing about this algae background is that it's only growing in the center of my tank, and that's of course because I have a 4 feet light on top of a 6-foot aquarium. So the algae background only grows where it's under direct light. So all I would have to do is slide the light over to this side of the tank for about 2 weeks, and then this side will be covered with that nice coating of brown algae, and the same thing on this left side. Now when I do put the light back in the center, I'm not sure if the algae on these sides will die off, but you know, all it's going to take is like another week on this side, another week on that side to really strengthen the algae. Algae is a very hardy thing. I don't know if you call it a plant or a species, but algae itself is very hardy and it is very lasting. So just maybe a week every now and then will keep it nice and just alive. So this is still a work in the making. It's still, you know, something I'm still trying to learn about and discover. But for now, I'm definitely loving it, and I would like to hear your opinions and your suggestions. So this is just one of my projects that I'm working on in this 125-gallon aquarium, and it is my 3D live algae background. Another cool thing that I saw this week in the fish room was in my 125-gallon African cichlid tank. So every now and then these fish have what I would call a contagious panic attack, and it's pretty much when one fish, usually the dominant fish of the tank, starts panicking, and he causes a chain reaction, and just all the big fish in the aquarium panic and they go and hide. Now this happened, and you all know that in this tank I have a lot of Mbuna fry that like to hide and just spend their life in the cracks and corners of the aquarium. So one day the large fish, all the adults in the tank, they panic and they went and shoved themselves under the rocks, and the small little Mbuna fry used this as an advantage just to come out in the open. And I thought it was pretty cool to see all these Mbuna fry out and about. I'm kind of shocked because originally I thought it was 5. I counted about 10 of them, and now that pretty much puts my tank at an overstock position, so that's a little stressful. But at the end of the day, it was pretty cool seeing these little fish take advantage of my bigger fish having a panic attack. And just look at it for yourself. It's just pretty cool to see. Okay everyone, the last tank I'm going to give you guys a look at is my 55-gallon grow-out aquarium. If you saw my last week's video, you can already see that my Oscar has put on some size since that last video, and that was a week ago. And that's the reason why eventually I want to move all these fish up there, because in that 125 they have a lot more space, and that will make them only grow a little bit more faster and just have a little bit more of a healthy situation because the filtration in that tank is better. But the main reason why I'm showing this aquarium is because during the week I was able to capture some footage of a fish that really doesn't come out too often, and that fish lives the majority of his life inside this little structure. The reason why I have this little artificial structure is because when I first started in the hobby, I bought it thinking it was the way to go. $30. I bought it, so that's the reason why I feel the need to use it, because I spent that much compared to all the other decorations that I get for free. So I want to get as much use out of it as possible. Somebody asked me why I used one of those, and that's why. But anyway, there's a fish living in there that only comes out every now and then, and this is my ghost knifefish. Definitely a very beautiful fish, very interesting fish. One of the things I'm trying with this fish is to hand feed it while it's young, because I think if I build that bond with him while he's young, there's going to be a good chance that as an adult he's going to be out more and just willing to eat out my hand, willing to be more seen, and just a little bit more enjoyable. So here's a little look at my ghost knifefish as he was just one day out and about looking for food and looking awesome. Okay everyone, so that's been a look at some of the main things that occurred this week in the fish room. As always, let me know what you guys think. Any comments, questions, or suggestions, let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, make sure you leave a thumbs up. If you want more, make sure you subscribe. If you want to see what happened in this fish room during the past few weeks, you can always check out the Day in the Life playlist. Also, one of you guys asked me to join Instagram, and I have, so you can go to Instagram and type in DWS Darius, and I will come up. I'm posting just about every day, so if you want to check that out, go ahead. And thank you for all that you have done. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the view, and I'll catch you guys next time.